Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another video. And it's gonna be like kind of late for me to do this type of video because usually I did like at the beginning of this year though. But well, why not start now? Because as for what film what I predict what films were gonna be the bombs of this year, 2016. I mean, last year some of my predictions were correct. Some I didn't know would bomb, but well, now it's time for me to just since the start of this year there was a few flops here and there, but already, but I'm just gonna name the going down the list of what films this year are gonna flop. So why don't I get started right now? So as of Friday, um, one of the things I think is going to flop big is one as called Gods of Egypt. The one stars Gerard Butler, and yeah, it's from the director of I, Robot and The Crow and Knowing. I think it's like a 140 million budget film, and maybe I would think it's not going to do well domestically, maybe, but if it's not going to do well domestically, I would say maybe it'll be a huge box office flop. So just for starters, Gods of Egypt. Moving on, next one I would think is London Has Fallen, sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. Most of the original cast is coming back. That's nice. I didn't mind the first film, Olympus Has Fallen. I thought it was decent. I have problems with the film though, but at least I did like Gerard Butler in the first film though. Now like I said, I probably mentioned this before that I wouldn't have thought they would have made a sequel to this film, but apparently they are. So yeah, it's nice to see that the original cast coming back: Gerard Butler, Aaron Eckhart, Angelo Bassett, Morgan Freeman, Robert Forster. But I think it has a much more bigger budget than the first film. Maybe I'd say over 100 million. I would say. Will this film flop because it comes out on the same weekend as the Disney film Zootopia, so. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. So sequel, not entirely sure on it because I don't think part of me most of part of me says this was not not needed sequel. So London Has Fallen. Going through just down the list. Divergent Allegiant. No, that's not gonna flop because it's a successful franchise. I'm just thinking of films with big budgets. Normally, I couldn't predict films with minimum budgets would flop. I couldn't predict that. But I'm talking about ones with big budget films. The Huntsman, like the sort of spin-off prequel sequel to the Snow White and the Huntsman. I'm not entirely sure on that one because the first one was a hit, but I think it'll make money. So I don't think that one won't flop. Maybe this one called USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage. Maybe that one. It's supposed to be like the story. It's supposed to be the story of the USS Indianapolis, how it sank, and the remaining sailors have to survive in the water with the sharks and stuff. Stars Nicolas Cage, Tom Sizemore, and Thomas Jane. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure though. Maybe I guess that one will flop, maybe. But for one, from just seeing that first, I saw the poster of it, I think this one would flop. So USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, maybe. Warcraft, based on the video game, which I've never played Warcraft before, just for the record. Maybe I'll throw that one out because, well, usually a lot of films based on video games flopped, but well, except for the Resident Evil franchise, but maybe but there's some very little success of films that's based on video games. But Warcraft, I saw the trailer, so on it. So Warcraft, I'll throw that one out. Next, no. This one is one of the ones that I predict. This is one of the big ones for me that I think this one would flop. The Legend of Tarzan. Now, for what I said about the bombs of last year, Pan. See, the thing is that with Disney and Warner Brothers, Disney has made with the live action adaptations they have with Maleficent, Cinderella, and now the upcoming Jungle Book, and of course Alice in Wonderland, which the sequel comes out this Alice of the Looking Glass, but I don't know if that's gonna make money. But Warner Brothers now are trying to do adaptations of that as well, and they tried to do it with Pan, and that flopped big. That was a $150 million budgeted film, and that made $126 million. They thought because Hugh Jackman starring in it as Blackbeard, that they'll make a hit of it, but it didn't. That film flopped big. It was another huge box office flop. And plus, a second Peter Pan movie that flopped. That was like the one that was like back in 2001, I think it was. And this one, The Legend of Tarzan, the budget is even much more bigger than Pan. For some reason, it comes like it costs more like than Pan, like 180 million. Yeah, it's from the director of the last two Harry Potter films, but this one's a big one. This one's I guess a big guess for me because Pan flopped. That was a Disney adaptation from Warner Brothers that flopped, and now we're doing this with Legend of Tarzan with a much even bigger budget, and I'm thinking this one's gonna flop big as well. And then next year, in 2017, they're doing Jungle Book Origins. That's another Warner Bros. One. That's best for some amount of time, so. That's one of the big guesses for me. I think this one is also going to flop as well. A huge flop, The Legend of Tarzan. That's one of the biggest. That's one of the big ones for me. No. Mechanic Resurrection, which is a sequel to the 2012, I think it was. This is the one that was the remake with Jason Statham. I did not like the first. I did not like that one at all. So I know this is another one I thought they were make a sequel. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is gonna star in it, but the Mechanic Resurrection, I did not like the first one with Jason Statham. So I'm not interested in seeing this one. So I'm gonna throw this one, saying this one's gonna flop as well. Mechanic Resurrection. Then we have the remake of The Magnificent Seven, which Anton Fuqua, if I mispronounced his last name, the guy who directed Equalizer and Olympus Has Fallen and Training Day, is directing it. Because usually westerns of past recent years have flopped big, well, except for True Grit. But like Cowboys and Aliens, which to me, I love that movie. I thought that film didn't deserve to flop. But Jonah Hex, Wild Wild West. There was another western that there was one that I can't remember what. There was another western one. I mentioned True Grit. That was a hit though. But usually the westerns of films of today are no good no more because it seems like this is type of genre that's dying out. But the remake of The Magnificent Seven, I'm guessing this one's gonna flop too because most of westerns, even if it's science fiction of today, have not done so well. So Magnificent Seven remake, I think that will flop as well. No, not that one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going naming every single film on the list of this year, so. But I'm just naming. I just want to name some of them that I think would flop, but the ones like I mentioned, like I said, Legend of Tarzan, Mechanic Resurrection, the remake of Magnificent Seven, Warcraft, USS Indianapolis Men of Courage, uh, Alistair Looking Glass. That's gonna make money. I know that for sure. But I didn't even like the first Tim Burns one. So, uh, which I don't know. The ones with minimum budgets, I can't predict those because we never know. I'm gonna talk about the ones that with bigger budgets though. But uh, yeah, Lenin has fallen. Gods of Egypt. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully, I'm sure I know there's gonna be a lot more flops, but like I said, like I usually do, the end of 2016. Unless there's one that's really big, there's one really big flop that I'll throw out like in a vlog. So, but yeah, until the end of 2016, I'll do like I usually do the whole list of what films have bombed, whether it's big or small budget films. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.